to No Guilt, Just Growth. I'm Kristen Pomper, wife, coach, and corporate working mom of two. I help ambitious working moms stop running on empty and start building lives they're obsessed with, without the guilt or burnout. I'm on a mission to redefine what success looks like for moms. Because one thing I know for sure, it's not about putting everyone else's needs above your own. If you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, you're in the right place. Hi, friend. Welcome back. I'm so pumped you're tuning in today because I truly believe that this topic is so important for every mom out there, every woman out there, every person, honestly. If you're anything like me, just the thought of asking for help feels wrong. Like admitting weakness, like you're saying out loud, I can't handle it. And for a really long time, I believed that asking for help meant I wasn't capable, that I wasn't doing a good enough job as a mom. I thought that when it came to my kids, I had to be the one doing it all. And I also assumed everyone else thought the exact same thing and that they would judge me if I needed or wanted help. Am I the only one that feels like that? Or do we all see it as kind of this pride thing? Like it's a hit on our character or how effective we are as moms if we need help. For all of those reasons, I was and sometimes still find myself deeply insecure about asking for help. If I'm being really honest, I have always struggled with asking for help, whether I'm starting a new job and I don't want to annoy or bother my new coworkers, or I'm asking a friend for a favor and worried that I'll be inconveniencing them. I'm that gal that's always apologizing. Sorry, but are you available to XYZ? And then as soon as I became a mom, holy hell, the insecurity tied up in asking for help only intensified, which was so inconvenient because it's when I needed help more than ever. When I first became a mom, I was completely overwhelmed. Everything was foreign to me. Each sound, each movement, I questioned myself with everything. And yet somehow asking for help felt like admitting weakness or defeat, that I wasn't qualified for the job. So in this episode, we're tackling one of the hardest things for moms to do, which is asking for help and actually accepting it when it's offered. I'll share all the reasons why it feels uncomfortable for me, why we often see it as a weakness, and how letting go of control doesn't make you any less capable. I'll also walk you step by step through how to identify the help that you actually need, how to ask clearly and confidently, and how to start small so that accepting help becomes this natural, empowering part of your life. Because if it seems like I have it all together, the routines, the workouts, a somewhat clean house, happy kids, a strong marriage, a successful career, it's because I have a lot of help. Okay, let's get into it. I think I have experienced all the feels when it comes to asking for help. So let's just get them out into the open. These are all the emotional barriers that have kept me from asking for or accepting help. The first one, guilt and shame. So often we feel like asking for help means we're failing somehow. I used to think that if I asked for help, it validated that I wasn't doing a good job. Like I was abandoning my responsibilities as a mom, or we have all heard this one, that we are letting someone else raise our kids. Here's what I've had to learn. Asking for help does not make you any less of a mom. It does not mean that you aren't capable. It doesn't mean you're failing. It's not that you can't do whatever it is that you're asking for help for. It's that something else will give if you try to do it all alone. It will come at the expense of something else, whether that be your joy, your presence, your energy. Something will get sacrificed. That's the cost that most moms don't realize until they're exhausted, resentful, and burnt out. And then the whole idea about letting someone else raise your kids. Here's the reality. You are irreplaceable in the eyes of your kids. They will always choose you. They need you. No nanny, no babysitter, no grandparents, teacher, coach, aunt, uncle will ever take your place. And your kids benefit as well from being in the presence of other loving adults in their lives. Whether it's carpooling to practice with their friends, spending the night at grandma and grandpa's, or a night with their fun aunt or uncle. As much as your kids love you, they enjoy spending time with other adults close to the family. And those loved ones cherish the time with your kids. Both parties win. The other thing that's kept me from asking for help in the past is fear of judgment. Sometimes we hesitate to ask for help because we're worried about what other people will think. We imagine them thinking that we're lazy, incompetent, or not capable of handling our responsibilities because we have to ask for help. I've absolutely felt this. My mind racing with, what will they think of me if I ask for this? Here's the truth. You don't have to prove your worth by doing it all. Asking for help doesn't diminish you. It shows self-awareness and courage. It models for your kids, your friends, and your spouse that it's okay to acknowledge when you need support. Another one that's kept me stuck is control and perfectionism. I used to think no one could do it the way that I could do it. Laundry, meals, my bedtime routine with the kids, everything had to be my way. But here's the thing. Your way isn't the only way. And it's okay if it's different than how you would do it. Maybe someone changes a diaper differently, folds laundry a different way, or handles a task differently than you would. That's okay. And here's the truth. 80% done by someone else is 100% amazing. Okay, next one. Fear of rejection. Asking for help can feel really vulnerable because there's a chance that that person that you're asking might say no. Maybe they have a legitimate reason, maybe not. Our minds like to create these worst case scenarios. They don't want what's best for me. They don't want to support me. Instead, I would just encourage you to view it as an act of bravery. Every time you reach out, you're modeling for your kids that it's okay to be vulnerable. And that courage, it's contagious. Oh boy. Okay. This next one is still arguably the one that keeps me stuck. Fear of being a burden. I've hesitated asking for help because I'm so worried, like actually have anxiety about feeling like I'm inconveniencing the other person. Here's the shift that I've made with this one. Instead of seeing it as a burden, like an inconvenience, asking for help gives that person the opportunity to serve. There's very few things, in my opinion, that top that feeling. And to double down on that, when you're asking for help with your kids, not only are you giving them the opportunity to serve, but you're giving them the opportunity to be a part of your kids' world. They get to experience loving your kids. Think about the power in that for a second. Your kids are arguably the single most important thing in your life. You would do anything to protect them. They're your most precious commodity. There's a lot of trust and vulnerability in that. Asking for help is giving people the opportunity to be a part of that. That's not a burden or an inconvenience. That's a gift. And when you don't ask for help, you're stripping others of that opportunity. Okay, another one, emotional attachment and identity. Sometimes I think we tie our self-worth to doing it all ourselves. We feel like if we ask for help, we're failing, or that somehow we're not enough as a mom, wife, or person. I've definitely been there. I thought my value came from how much I could juggle, how many tasks I could check off, how perfectly I could manage everything. Here's what I've learned. Asking for help doesn't make you any less of a mom. It doesn't make you less capable. In fact, it makes you the mom who can show up fully with energy, presence, and joy. Your worth isn't measured by doing it all. It's measured by how fully you show up for the people and things that matter most. Another reason I've avoided asking for help is because I'm comparing myself to other moms. I think it's easy to look around and think, they do it all. Why can't I? Here's what's true for me. Trying to do it all was making me a worse mom, not a better one. I became more resentful, exhausted, short, snappy, preoccupied. I felt like Nothing was getting done, even knowing I was giving it my complete all day long. I was just moving from one thing to the next, and I became so disconnected from my role as a mom, even though I loved being a mom. Letting in help has made me the mom that I want to be, more present, more involved, more engaged, happier. That's the kind of mom I want to show up as. Another thing that's prevented me from asking for help is anxiety about having to reciprocate. Sometimes I think we hesitate because we worry about feeling indebted for accepting help. We feel like we owe something in return or that it seems needy. Here's the truth: people aren't keeping score. Accepting help doesn't create a debt. It's an act of trust, generosity, and it builds connection. And then I think the last reason why I have neglected to ask for help is because I feel selfish, especially when I'm asking someone to watch my kids so that I could get a workout in, go on a date night with Bobby, spend time with friends, go golfing. I've definitely caught myself thinking, I shouldn't ask for this. I should be with the kids. This is selfish. But what if instead of seeing it as selfish, we flipped that script and saw it as generous? Again, it's giving someone that opportunity to lend a hand, or maybe it's give advice or share their perspective. That is such a compliment. I know I personally feel so honored whenever someone asks me for help. It's validating. It makes me feel like my experience, my skills, my perspective actually matter. And that's exactly what you're doing when you ask others for help. You're giving someone the chance to step in and contribute. You're trusting in them. You're showing that you value them, their opinion, their advice. That's really flattering. That's generosity. And that's connection. So, how do you actually start asking for help? First, identify what type of help you need. Is it physical help like chores, childcare, or errands? Or is it more emotional help? Things like venting, getting advice or perspective. Maybe it's social help, time to recharge or connect with friends. Take a few minutes to reflect on your situation right now. Identify where you feel the most stretched or overwhelmed. It will be different for every mom, every family, and what you need changes with every season or phase of life that you're in. Clarity here will make the rest of the process so much easier. Once you know what you need, the next step is to be clear and specific in your ask. Vague requests tend to get vague results. Instead of asking, can you help sometime? Or we'd love it if you could help one of these days. Or even like, it would mean the world to us if the kids could spend the evening with you the next time you're free. Those requests are too vague. It leads to something like, sure, or of course, with zero follow through because it's not specific. So be precise. Something like, are you able to watch the kids next Wednesday from 6 to 8 so that I can take a yoga class? Specificity increases the likelihood of follow through and reduces any confusion for the person that you're asking. I think oftentimes we want someone to take on the same level of initiative to see and know when to jump in and take care of us just the way that we do for others. But the truth is, people can't read our minds. So we have to get out of that mindset and just ask. And then the third step is learning to accept help when it's offered. Let's resist the reflexive, no thanks, I've got this, or it's okay, I can handle it. Reframe it in your mind. Accepting help doesn't diminish your role as a mom. It enhances it. It's not that you can't handle it. Saying yes allows others to contribute and strengthens relationships while giving you a chance to recharge and show up fully. If you're anything like me, this is going to be really challenging at first. So I encourage you to start small. The first time you ask for help, let's say that you've identified that you need physical help. You want someone to come and supervise, watch the kids so that you can do something for yourself. The first time that you ask for that help, maybe you don't even leave the house. You step away for 15 to 20 minutes, even just to the other room or another floor. Next, try a short coffee break. You go for a drive-through at Starbucks. Maybe it's a quick 30-minute workout or a kid-free run to the grocery store. Gradually build up to longer commitments, like a date night or even an overnight away. Finally, reflect and reinforce. After each experience, take a moment to think through how it felt. How did asking for help and accepting that help affect your energy, your joy, your presence? Use that feedback loop to continue asking and accepting help strategically. Over time, this becomes a practice, a way to maintain your balance, protect your energy, and thrive as a mom without trying to do it all. Remember, it's not that you can't handle it. Let's stop denying the help when it's offered. Be willing to accept help, even if it looks different than you prefer or thought it would be. It might be better than you expect. Focus on the good or the positive. I'll leave you with this. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's strategic. It's generous, not selfish. It's bold, not needy. It shows bravery and courage, not vulnerability. And it makes you and everyone around you better. You're doing enough. You are enough. And asking for help, that's actually part of being a great mom. It enhances your role. It doesn't take away from it. Today, I hope that you reflect and identify one way in which you need help. Get clear so that you can ask with specificity. Lean into the vulnerability, and I know this isn't easy. Asking for help is really hard, but it's also liberating, powerful, and transformational. Lean into it. Be brave and watch how your life, your joy, and your happiness change. Thanks for listening today. If you're finding value in this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you left a review. Share this episode with a mom who's doing it all alone. It might just be the permission she needs to let help in. Have an incredible week, and I will see you in the next episode.